This is my first day here. I'm basically here to do whatever they need me to do.
We have got team building. Someone has filed an anonymous complaint with HR. I anonymously made the complaint.
This is not anonymous anymore.
Okay.
I have come to the decision to explore the sale of Rockin' Grandmas to the good people of Trucas.
We are here to introduce ourselves and see if it's a match. It's just weird to have that many redheads in one place.
I really feel like I'm on a TV show, but this is not something that you can just make up.
All right, that was a peek at the chaos, comedy, and corporate madness of the series Company Retreat. Executive producer and actor Chris Kula and actress Wendy Braun join us. What they don't know is that I'm not really a journalist or a talk show host. In fact, I don't even know why I'm here. Good morning.
They got you.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi. All right. I love this because I think a lot of us have had this kind of thought in our mind at some point. And I remember my friends and I would always say, wouldn't it be funny as an April Fool's Day joke if we were in jury duty, right? And the person got caught for jaywalking and we decided to give them life in prison, but one juror doesn't know. They're like, what, life for jury? Life for, right? So it comes to fruition. A lot of things that a lot of us have thought came to fruition in jury duty. Tell us how that came about.
Well, on this season, we moved the show from the jury box into the, auspices of a company retreat, a small mom and pop company that's going away to, do their team building and bonding exercises. And they bring a temp along. And the temp, Anthony, is the only real person in this show. Everyone else is an actor. Everyone else is keeping up the ruse of this. And Anthony is in for the chaos you're seeing here.
Yeah, and that's the same kind of premise that you had in jury duty, that everyone else was an actor, and so you're in this tight space in this room making decisions, and then the uncomfortable part of it, watching that person be uncomfortable, we kind of emotionally map and put ourselves in that person's seat, and that's what kind of makes this work with viewers, right?
Yeah, I think, look, there's so much hilarity to it, but there's so much heart. And at the core of what we're doing, the show is all about shining a light on the goodness and humanity. And so having Anthony be this accepting, loving, amazing human, I think only helps us all sort of reflect on how we might be in a situation when we didn't know that 46 cameras are on us.
Yeah, all right. So Chris, a lot goes into picking the person who's going to be the real person, because do you have any, you got to have a little bit of idea of what that person's kind of emotional self is, don't you?
Yeah, we did a pretty big search for our hero. They applied to real job listings seeking temp help, and we got over 10,000 applicants, and we did a thorough vetting process to find the right person who had those traits like empathy and selflessness. And man, we found the right guy, because Anthony is a true hero for the way he steps up for these people.
Yeah, just looking at these clips in the preview, we're looking at this guy, we can see him thinking, right? All right, Wendy, by the same token, you have to pick the right actors, because this is not just understanding some lines, it's almost like understanding cues, because there's got to be some improv involved in here.
Yeah, so the show is fully scripted. There's story beats, story arcs, but as an actor, you have to have improv, acting, mental resilience. It takes a lot to do this show. And as an actor, to come in, you have to be so committed to your character, but then it's this completely unpredictable setting. So not only do you have to know what you're doing, you also have to be responding in real time to everything. And so it's such a delicate dance of all the skills. And even behind the scenes, we're really all holding the show in the palm of our hands, so it requires a craft and commitment from every single person on the cast and crew.
And you're right, you have to pay attention to every single thing, because it's like a ping pong match, right? You got to pick up where somebody else left off. All right, is there any rehearsal that goes into this at first before you bring in the real person?
Yeah, once we had the cast set, they had about a month's time to develop their characters and to develop their relationships with each other, so that it really felt like this is an existing company with long back history and inside jokes and relationships. And then you bring the unknown into it and see, will he believe this? Will he buy that we are a family?
And then the actor challenge there is you can never break character. And sometimes do you feel like when you don't break character that you forget that you're not really that character and you just keep going on even after the scene is cut?
You keep going on until you are in the car. Like for a lot of our scenes, we're whisked away. What people don't see is often we're high-fiving each other because the scene just worked. And so it's a thrill ride, and it's also terrifying at the same time because any one of us could just, screw up the show. But thankfully, we all stay in character and do our part, and now you get to see the fruits of our labor.
Yeah, and let me ask both of you, what do you want viewers, or what have viewers told you that they've gotten from watching this?
I think a really nice thing is people say like, oh man, it restores my faith that there's good people out there still. Because Anthony doesn't have to step up, but he chooses to do the right thing. He chooses to do the selfless thing. And it's really affirming to know that those people still exist.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of comments on social media that people just say, this show brings me so much joy. And I think that's at the root of it. That's our mission.
Yeah, we can use a lot of that right now. What I pick up in this as well is I know that there are a lot of people who take acting classes. Houston's has a big theater arts scene, and they take acting classes. And it's like, you don't have to take acting classes thinking you're going to win an Oscar one day. Just to take them for the skill set that acting can give you, whether it's improv, whether it's another form of acting, what acting does for people.
Yes, acting ultimately is listening. Right? You can't respond if you're not listening. And so in life, if, whether it's improv or an acting class, I think every person on the planet should take it just to hone the skills of true listening and then being free to respond and react in your authentic way as your authentic self. It's a skill that anyone could benefit from.
Okay, this is the only problem I have right now. I am on a board of a nonprofit, and we have a retreat coming up next month. I'll be looking for the camera.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, Deborah behind every mirror.
Yeah, we'll be looking. All right, you two, thank you so much for bringing this to us, because it's a blend of certain things we've seen before, but it also combines what a lot of us have thought in our mind, and you've put it right there on the screen for us to see. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Hey,
Thank
thanks,
you
Deborah.
so much, Deborah.
All right, and I really am a journalist and a talk show host. All right, Jury Duty.
Awesome.
Jury Presents Company Retreat is streaming now with a 3-episode finale dropping this Friday on Prime Video.